Hey there again, this is Kelvin with Building Musicians. In this video we're going to start to go over some of the guitar basics, alright? First thing we want to go over is basically just the parts of the guitar. Obviously, right here, basically the whole thing we've got here. This is called the body of the guitar. Nothing too special about that, it's pretty obvious. It's all the body. The next part, working our way this way, this is going to be called the bridge. Okay, this area right here is called the bridge of the guitar. Right along here we've got our strings coming across, of course. Okay, got your guitar strings. Should have 6. Alright, unless you're playing a 12-string guitar, which we're not there yet, but if you've got one, great. Right here, this is your sound hole. Okay, that's where your sound comes out of course. As we work our way up, right here, this portion of the guitar here, it's called the neck. Alright, it's the neck of the guitar. These spaces you see in between, okay, these are your frets. Okay, now you're going to notice, regardless of what kind of guitar you have, on your guitar you're going to have some little dots here. I don't know if you can see that well. You're going to have some dots along your fretboard. The entire thing across is called the fretboard. Each individual one is called the fret. And you're going to have some dots here along your fretboard, which are basically guides. They're either going to be up here on the top, where you can see it. They're either going to be on the face of the fret, or your guitar might have them on both. Okay. So you've got your, we've got your strings, got your entire fretboard. These are all each individual frets. Okay. Right up here, this little thing right across here at the top, if you can see that, that's the nut. Okay. This thing coming across here is the nut. This portion up here, sorry, move the guitar along this way. This portion up here is called the headstock of the guitar. And up here, each one of these individual little things at the end of your guitars, or at the end of your guitar strings, these are your tuners. So this is going to help you tune your guitar. If your string is a little flat, you're going to tighten it if you want it to sharpen the note. If your note's too sharp, you want to loosen it, make it more flat. Those are basically the parts of the guitar. Some guitar basics before we get into actually playing. Positioning. You're going to have a pretty good posture when you're playing guitar. Okay, you don't want to be slouching too much. You want to sit up pretty straight. You want to have the this curved portion of the guitar. If you're sitting, you're going to have it right on your knee. You want to have the guitar as close to your body as possible. Alright, you don't want to have it all the way out here on the edge of your knee. Obviously, you can't be like this. You don't want to have the guitar up like this. This is not Guitar Hero. I just want to have a nice posture. Guitar body as close to you as possible. Okay, and this way you can just kind of look down in a nice, comfortable position. I want to make sure this hand, I'm a righty, so your left hand, if you're a righty, get a nice, comfortable position under here, where you're able to just put the palm of your hand underneath the neck, support the neck of the guitar, and be able to play your notes. Alright, I'm using a guitar pick here. This is a .46 millimeter, so it's pretty flimsy. You can see that. Okay, there are more stiff ones, harder ones that you can buy. A lot of times people use those when they're playing more electric guitar or something just heavier, or if they're playing a lot of chords. This is something that's, like I said, it's a little flimsier, it's a little thinner, and it's pretty good to start out with. So, let's see. See if I left anything out before we can actually get into playing. Like we said in our last video, one of our last videos, most important thing is rhythm. So we want to make sure that before you've watched this video, hopefully you've watched a video on rhythm, and make sure that you've pretty much got a good idea or a good handle on what rhythm is, and how to go about learning it and how to go about keeping your rhythm. Okay? Some tools that you're going to need as you're going to continue to go along learning guitar One of them is definitely a guitar tuner. A lot of smartphones, if you have a smartphone, a lot of smartphones have a pretty good or a decent enough guitar tuner where you can just download a guitar tuner app. And my smartphone has one. That's what I use, and it's decent enough where you can get a pretty good sound. You can stay in tune, especially if you're playing with a group of people and want to be in tune with them, so you guys are not playing the same notes but having it sound different. We've got here a let's see if I got it here. This little thing right here, it's called a capo. I don't like to use it too much because it can be kind of a cheat, but it's also a helpful tool. We'll get into learning how to use that properly later. But this right here is called a capo. A little more advanced. We'll get into that later. I think that's mainly it as far as the basic stuff. So what we'll do for the rest of this video is just talk about scales. Now, no matter what you're playing, whether it's a song, whether you're just practicing, everything that you're going to play is going to be within a certain scale. Okay? In music, you've got scales going from C major, D major, E major, F, G, and A, and then B major. And then you've got all the in-between, C sharp, D sharp, and all that type of stuff. I believe it's, make sure I don't say the right thing, there should be 12 major scales, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, yeah. 12, there's 12 major scales, minor scales. We'll get into minor scales later, but right now we're just going to focus on major scales. We've got 12 basic scales we're going to learn, and we're going to be learning some patterns so that you guys will be able to play any scale with the patterns that we're going to learn. Okay. After that, we'll get into some chords, start doing some exercises with chords and rhythm, and then hopefully not too long from now we'll be playing some songs. Alright? So those are the basics of guitar. Check out the very next video so we can start going over scales.